pains.
If you had a chance to be with Mr. President right now, what advice would you give him if he had a chance to pick another list, for example? I mean, there's still some states still awaiting nominees like Abia, Adamawa, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Borno, Cross River. So there's still room to actually put in people who the people want. But there's a question, there's this struggle between who the people want and who Mr. President needs. Yeah. And for some reason, at the end of the day, the man at the top of the helm is the one responsible. So you tend to see even the age of some of the nominees. There's some of them who are closer to him in the age. Some are saying he needs counsel from people of like minds. And then there are those in between. But if you had a chance to talk to Mr. President right now, what would you say he could have done better?
I don't think it's possible for you to please everybody, because a certain group of people wants to put in power or wants in that ministerial position might not be the best person. They might not be the best person or the best people for the job. I think you can't really pick the best in every scenario for everybody for the president, because at this point in time he's under a lot of pressure to deliver in every single sector, power, the economy, and petroleum, everything. Right now that he's under pressure to be the minister for petroleum, and people are saying, is he the right person for the job? Is he not the right person for the job?
Let's even take it from that point of view. If he's doing that, I mean, there's delegation of, that's the whole point of having ministers, to delegate. Do you think you have enough time to actually address presidential issues, state matters, if he's busy with petroleum, or that's basically where the source of Nigeria's income is? That's why he's focusing on that.
Well, I don't think he might be the right person for the job if he wasn't president. But you can't be the presenter and the cameraman.
Well, it happens. Just position your camera and then come and present.
but I think that the president also has some form of experience. You know, he has handled the petroleum industry at some point, and as president, you're supposed to oversee even all the ministries. Now, bringing in the experience he has, or he had, he still has it. It never leaves anyway. And considering that the petroleum industry is one that the country really needs to fix, so it's like his #1 priority. He can't separate himself from that problem.
But who screens him? Who says? Who gets to screen him?
That's the question.
Well, who gets to say, Mr. President, well, you know what? I don't think you're good enough for this position. Well, does anybody have the infantry to actually?
I think the people eventually. He's accountable to the people. It's never about who screens you. It's about who judges you eventually. Who judges?
Or who even believes in you?
Yeah, and I think if it gets to the point where the president is doing the wrong thing, the people, that's all of us, can call him out on it. So it's our responsibility now to judge his performance as Minister of Petroleum and President.
It took him about 4 months to get this list together. How long do you think we need to put him under the microscope in terms of performance? Is it 1 year? Is it 1.5 years? Nigerians are always eager for immediate result. How long do you think is enough to say, you know what, Mr. President, you might not have got it right at start, but you're heading in the right direction? How long do you think Nigerians need for that?
Nigerians are impatient, so I give him to probably the end of 2016 to effect change that everybody can see. But then I don't think it's expedient for us to put that kind of expectation on him, because
not just on him, even the ministers, the people coming, the whole team coming up now. There's everybody's eyes on them.
You have to hit the ground running.
And they need to hit the ground running. A lot of time has been, I don't want to say wasted, but a lot of time has gone. But patience is one of the mantras that he's preaching, that people should be patient, that it's better we do this properly than do it.
I mean, we had patience for 8 years last time.
We did.
And then
it didn't get us anywhere.
What about this Senator Kashama? What happens to him now? He's been sacked from the Senate. For some reason, that's funny.
Yeah, it is, because I think the pharmaceutical industry has to watch out, because he's back.
Could you elaborate more on that?
I don't think I can do that on national television, because I don't want.
As safely as you can. What do you think? I mean, looking ahead.
Well, we see a situation where he might be going back to his roots. You really can't. He has always been. There's always been scandals surrounding him everywhere he's gone, and in the new Nigeria we're trying to build, I don't think we need people. Yeah, people who have history that isn't positive, and if for some reason he has been the spotlight has shown that there is something wrong with his credentials, his credibility, then he might as well just, I think he should go back to that place where he thrives or where he's known for. And if it's his roots, if it's the pharmaceutical industry.
And enjoy.
Well, some are saying, I mean, he insists that he's still a senator, you know, depending on the outcome on Monday. So
he still is a senator. Well, let's wait till Monday. Let's see what comes out of that, and we hope that the rule of law would
prevail.
We hope so.
Okay, let's move on to another one on the issue of on Boko Haram. I mean, I personally don't like to dedicate too much airtime to the subject, but it's a subject that we cannot avoid. The twin blast last week, another attack again recently. I mean, it's
like they're fighting back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good sign, because it sends the message that they're now desperate, and usually it's when they're desperate that they carry out multiple attacks, which means that the war against them is getting to a very good point. But how do we judge or evaluate this?
I think the storm is highest right before the end.
Yeah, but lives are, I mean,
at risk. Yes,
not even at risk. People are dying. I mean, people are dying literally with each aggressive attack. Do you think there's more the government can do in that regard, or they're doing the best they can do?
No, there's always more that the government can do. There's always more that the government can do. But we are putting a lot of pressure on Buhari right now to perform. There's so much expectation on him. We want him to fix lights, we want him to fix the roads, we want him to fix the petroleum sector, we want him to fix security. And then you now have to prioritize, what do I do first and what do I do next? But then in this scenario, I think the lives of the Nigerians are the most important factor that you have to consider. So yes, there should be a lot of focus on this sector. And I think there is more that can be done in this regard, making sure that the Nigerians whose lives are at risk and whose lives are at stake don't lose any more lives than they already have. So we're hoping that he does more, because there's always more that can be done.
Okay, what about you, Kelvin?
The Boko Haram issue was always going to be a factor of lives, either on the Nigerian side or on the terrorist side. I'm happy about the fact that we have taken it to be what it is, which is it's plain old terrorism, and it should be attacked as it is. Before, we used to have stories about the army not being equipped enough to handle it, but we've seen, or we saw just before the last administration ended, that the army was equipped more. Mr. President came and he gave a deadline. He actually said in 3 months there'll be no more Boko Haram. And then we've seen at some point the army was winning the war.
Yeah.
And then now it seems like they've recouped and they say, you know what, we're going to take it, you know, pound for pound. This isn't the time to sit back. This is the time for us to actually do more.
Exactly.
At the same time, try to reduce the casualties on, you know, on the citizenry. We can't afford to just sit back and say, oh, they're attacking, so we're going to just wait for this tide to pass. We really have to attack more.